Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this video, we are going to start with VBCS page development. In this video, we will see that how we can access the VBCS application. We will see the overview of VBCS interface, navigation, the VBCS dashboards. We will understand the development environment and all the basic component details in VBCS. In this video, we are going to learn everything about VBCS. Let's begin with the practical. So here you can see this is the Visual Builder, Oracle Visual Builder application, and we will start from here. So before going to start, let me first explain you how you can access this Visual Builder. There can be different way to access or open the Visual Builder application. The first and simple application can be just open the OIC instance and just click on the task, and here you can see instead of integration you can go for Visual Builder. Once you will click on this Visual Builder, the same page will open. Or either you can copy this URL and make a bookmark of this URL so that every time whenever you want to open the VBCS page, you can open directly this page. You can see this is the same, right? And another way can be the open directly that Visual Builder from the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure dashboard. So now here we are able to open the VBCS page. Now let me give you the basic overview about the page. So here you can see this is the simple VBCS application builder, and for creating the application, right here you can see we have new application icon. So once we will click here, it will ask to provide the name, ID, details to create the application. Even we can import the application. If we have already created the application, we can import the application here only in this instance. The same we have here button. To create, we have new button, and for importing, we have the import button. If we have already created few application and we deleted, we can find that application from here only. And here you can see we have the basic that all applications, suppose in instance we created various application, all application will be listed here. So let's start with creating first application. For creating the application, just click on this new application. And here you can see it asking for the application name. So let me give the name as first application, my first app. And whatever name you will provide, based on that, it will automatically generate the ID. You can update the ID or you can use the same. So let me add the 01 here. You can provide the basic description. And here for each and every application, you have to select the template. So we can have different template to create the application. But if you want to change the application, click here, change template, and you can see we have various application template. Now we are going to use empty application. Instead of that, you can use reduced started application, dashboard example templates, and different one. So now let's go with the empty application only. Select and here click on finish. New application will be created, and here we will be able to see the application. So here you can see once we created the application, welcome page open, and all are the details here. You can see here we have the responsive application. This responsive application unders that we will have the web application and the mobile application. So once we click here, you can see we open the web application. And by here, once you will click here, it will ask you to give the name so that we can create the web pages. The same way you can click on this web page application and provide the name to create the new web pages. By selecting the name, you can select the style that can be the empty page or the navigation drawer, or you can see the last one, bottom tabs. Here we have the different options, like here you can see service connection. This service connection will help us to interact with the REST APIs. And the same, by clicking here in the service connection, we can navigate here. We have different options. We have the business object. Once you will click this business object, we will have option to create the business object. What is business object? All these things we will learn in depth in different videos. In this video, I'm just going to create simple application and just show you the navigation for that. Here you can see we have different things. Like here we have the, you can see we have layout, and then we have the components for that our application, we have the processes, and we have the JavaScript code if we want to add all these things, sources and all. So right now we have to create the page. We can go here and just we can click on this and select the page. So instead of creating the page, I have already created the page. So I will show you how we can use that one. So here you can see, once I click on the menu, we can see visual application, and here we created one application, that is my first application, that is listed here. And you can see the status of the application is in development. So there are three status of each and every application: development, stage, and publish. In development status, we are doing our changes, we are doing development. In a stage status, we are doing the testing of application, and once we are done with the testing, we can move that stage operation application to publish it. And here you can see we have the version, even we can change the version. You all are aware about that version, right? So every time we move the application to production environment, and whenever we require one changes, any other changes, we are just creating the different version. And you can see the time. We have different operation for the application. We can duplicate the application, or we can say simply clone of the, in integration we are using the clone concept. We can rename the application, we can import and export our application, we can create a new version of application. In setting, we have different option. We can move the stage status from development to a stage by click here, and then once a status will be in a stage, we can move the same to the publish, and even we can delete the application. So I have already created one application. I will import that application here in the instance so that I can give you the basic overview. For importing the application, what we can do, here you can see we have the import button. I will click here. It asks you to select. So here, application from Visual Builder, no, application from the file. I will select here, select drop down, and this is application I have already created. So I will just, you can see, give the another name like one, and click on import. This application will be imported in the system, in this visual application. And then I will open this application and I will navigate you all the tabs, task, properties, all these things, so that from the next videos we can start creating the new pages. Friend, if you have any other queries and you want to ask anything, don't forget to make a comment. So here you can see our application employee app -10 created, and the version is 1.0. Even we can change the versions. I will create separate videos where I will explain you about everything. So let's open this application. So once we will click on the application, that application will be open here. And here you can see, in this application, we have already created various pages, various web application. You can see the first web application is employee application, list of values application, registration form, and there is various. So let me just, by clicking on this application icon, you can see all the application created in the system. This is the icon where if you will click here, all the business object created in this icon, we can see here we have 3 business object created. What is business object? I will create separate videos where I will explain. For just now, I am just showing you the navigation. So here you can see, if you will click on this main, all the pages inside this registration form application will be reflected here. So you can see we have 2 main pages, main start page and the main success page. If you will expand this main, you will be able to see main start. Once I will click on this main start, you can see the main start page. You can see this is the main start page, and here we created the design the page in such a way that employee registration form. For each and every page, we have different components. So here you can see this is the text, input text component, this is the label component, this is the button component. All this component we can get from the component list. You can see once I will click here, this application page will be removed. Now here you can see this is our page, and page having all the components. So whatever components we want to add, we can directly select, search, and drag in the page. So suppose here we have phone inbox. If want to add, we can directly drag here. You can see the phone added. So let me remove this one. So this kind of things we can add. Once you will click on data, you can see the basic details for that. Detail means the database table, like business object we used, all these details we will be able to see here. So just click on components only. So you know that where we can get the components. And next here you can see we open the page, that page name is main start page. And this is the design canvas. Here we are designing the page. And here you can see the code. Whatever component we added in the page, for each and every component, everything we have the code written, inbuilt code written. So once you will click on the code, you can see the JavaScript code written for each and every element. Here you can see in the last we have 3 buttons: create, update, delete, and you can see the button here. Label, button label is create, update, delete, and here you can see the details. We have the different input box. You can see first name, last name, gender, and once you will go to the code, you can see all these things. Input text, first name, last name, gender. Gender is the combo box. So here you can see we have the combo box. So with this, using the way, we can see the code of the design. Even once we will click on the properties, we can see the properties of each and every components. If you will select the input text line here, you can see the properties of input text. Here you can see the name is input text. This is the ID, label, hint, first name, all these details. The data, event, all. Here is the more components, the more properties, all these things. Now if you will click on the design, the same way, suppose we created here a button. Once you will click on the button and go to the properties, all these properties will be reflected for the button only. We added the event. It means we added the trigger. Whenever user will click on this button, some event will occur. So here we have the same event. So in this create button, we added the event. And in this VBCS, event means action chain. Action chain means the process. By clicking on this event, what kind of process we want to implement. So here you can see on the create button, we added the event as button action chain. So once you will open this button action chain event, you can see the flow. These all are the flow we added. What kind of action we want once user will click on that. So here you can see we have assign variable. So whenever user will click on this button, create button, all the value inside this box will be stored in a variable. Here you can see in action, you can see stored in a variable. We created variable. You can see the var create employee first name, last name will be stored into the variable f var first name, all these things. After that, we added the chain in such way. Once variable data will be assigned to the variable, it will call the REST endpoint to store this data into the table, that is the business object. So here in VBCS, business object can be accessed using REST API, and even business object can be interacted in VBCS using REST API. So that's why we have REST call. Once the call will be done, it means data inserted into database. We added a switch, the condition. If data inserted successfully, we are going to show the notification, success message. All these things are going to navigate to different page. So here by clicking on, we can move to the action. So now let's move to the page again. And here we have the rest of properties. Here you can see this is the page, and once we click here in the page, this is the properties of the page. You can see page properties, general and the event. And here we have text box and all the properties related to that only. So let's remove the properties tab here. Now here you can see on top, for each and every page, the main start page, we have different tabs. Here you can see the first tab is page designer. So this is the page designer. We can say the page canvas. This is the header and this is the footer, from where we can access the header and footer. So here you can see this is the page. So once you will click here, you can see in the main, inside the main, right, we have this one. So for each and every application, we have the header and footer. So in the fragments, you can see cell footer, cell header. So once you will click on cell header page will be open. You can see this is the cell header page, and the design you can see we added for the header. You can see you can navigate different page by clicking here. You can see cell header. Here we have the cell footer. You can see this is the same design. If you will again click in main start, you can see the header and the same footer. We can even close the page from here by clicking on this. Now here you can see we have resources. So this is the image we use here, right? So if you will go to the resources, you can see where we have image. Once you will expand the image, all the image, icon, favicon, whatever we have, you can see here, Fox Oracle PNG. This is the image we added here. You can see. So even we have the CSS. So whatever things we are going to do, that comes with CSS. So this is the CSS. Even we can add different CSS. We have the components. We have the actions and the JavaScript. If we want to add JavaScript function, we can add here. We have to add the string. If we want to add the string, we can add the string here. You can see here root pages. You can see the cell in cell pages is this defining the template of the page. You can see here, this is the header, this is the footer, and this is the part in which we are going to work on that. So all the details we can reflect from here only. So let me expand that one, all the resources, footer, and here we can navigate different page by directly by clicking on this web page. Main, inside the main we have two pages, main start and main success. We'll click on different page. The main start and the main success page will be open. This is the main success page. This is the design of main success page. Here you can see. So these are all the details. So here you can see this is the main start. In the main start page, right, we have all these things. Even we have option to create the variable. So once you will click on this variable, all these variable are showing here for this specific page only. The main start page having this variable var create employee object type variable. You can create the type, data type we can consider. We can create the data type, different data type, that ADP, array data provider, string type, data type, and different data type. Here you can see we created one data type, that create employee data type. This data type having 5 elements, and once we created variable with this create employee type, this variable having all these 5 elements. So we can create variable from here. We can have the page and same action. You can see we have the one action or event created on the create button. You can see this one button action chain, and once you will click on this action tab, you can see all the action created here will be visible. You can see we have only one action, that button action chain. This is the same action here, button action chain, and you can click here, you can do the changes, or you can directly access the chain from here only. If we have the event listener, you can see we have event listener for button, that is button action chain. We have the toggle drawer header, handler, all these details. We have the event. So right now we don't have event for page. We have the type variable, JavaScript function. If we want to define the JavaScript code for this page, for this main start page only, it's not for global. We can have the JSON structure for all these component, and in the setting we can add the setting for the page, the default flow, all the page name, page title, all these things we can add here. Here we have the import, security, transaction, all the details for the page. And yes, obvious, in our application, here you can see we have the web application. In this web application, we have two pages, main start page and main success page. So which page will load first will be defined by here. Once you will click on this main, you can see we have the setting. And here you can see this main is known as flow. In a application, in web application, we have main flow, and inside a flow, we can have multiple web pages. Even we can create variable for a specific flow or all these things. So here you can see this is our main flow. Inside the main flow, if you can see we have variable, you can see we created 5 variables in the main flow, so that this all 5 variable can be accessible by all these pages, can be accessed using the main success page or from the main start page. And once you will go to the setting, in the setting you can see we have option for default page. Here we can change the default page. So right now we have default page as a start. So whenever we will run the application, this start page will be active. We can change by main success, all these things. So now let me show you how we can run the application. So here suppose we created one web pages. This web pages we created, name of this web page is main start. And in the setting only we added the start page as main start. For running this page, here we have the icon. You can see the preview. Once you will click on this icon, the same page will be open in new tab, so that you can check your development, you can check the changes, you can test the changes. Using the same way, here we have live tab. Once you will click on this live, here you can see right now its gender, we have the values for this combo box, right? But we are not able to see because this application is not live. If you will click here, you will be able to see the value of this combo box. Once you will click on this create button, all the action whatever we have in the live will be visible here. So here you can see, once we run here, the page open, and you can see this is our page. This is the development page we created, and we are inputting the values, all the details, whatever data we are going to insert. So once we are inserting data, suppose giving the name as Raju Srivastava, we created in page in such a way, selecting the gender as male, email as raju at oracle.com, and here this is department, suppose I've given the name as fun. Once we'll click on this create button, we added the action. This data will be inserted into database table. So the pop-up message, the data inserted successfully, and the new page will be open that congratulations Raju record successfully. This is the same we designed, right? Here you can see this is main success page, right? So instead of that congratulations under fine, it's the name. So we designed the page in such a way. We will learn all these things one by one. And here you can see all the details. And here you can see we have right now, this is our first application, and version of this application is 1.0, and the stage of this application is development. So the same we are able to see here. Here you can see this is the rollback option. We can undo the changes. Even we can upload this development in the Git only by committing in all the operation, Git operation we can perform from here only. We can search here, and here you can see we have option to preview or debug. And yes, we have one more option. You can see once click here, we have option to check deploy this development stage to test stage setting. We can import these pages, the application, export the application, all the details. So this is the simple way where we can navigate the application. We can create the application, show the application. In next video, I will show you how we can create simple web pages. So right now I have not shown you that how we can create. I just directly exported because I have to navigate this one. So we navigated all these things. In next video, we will create the page. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any other queries, you can make a comment on that. And if you want to ask anything, don't forget to ask. Thank you again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel.